She completely abandoned herself, grew up in a very struggle enabled environment. Don't even know what it feels like to be provided for. No point trying to express femininity. Pull out every single masculine card that you can find in your body if you physically need to protect yourself. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time, thank you so much for stopping by. Please stay. As you can see by the title of this video already, I just wanted to share a couple of ways that I think that wounded feminine energy can be healed. I posted about the signs that you might be operating in wounded feminine energy. So if you haven't seen that, please do well to check it out. I'm going to link it in the description box below. But in today's video, we're going to be talking about ways that we can actually heal this wounded feminine energy. The first way I feel wounded feminine energy can be healed, it's by identifying where and how and when your feminine energy was injured, what caused it, what could have been the problem, what situation led to that, and then they're starting to address the problem. So many women have had their feminine energy injured right from childhood. The environment they grew up in just made them so masculine, so toxic. They didn't have the opportunity to even be girls. They didn't have the opportunity to express themselves as women, to enjoy benefits of womanhood. They grew up in a very struggle enabled environment, and this made them have to man up in the sense of it. They didn't have safe places to run to hide to confide in, to talk to just, be young girls. There's so many women who didn't have that. There's so many people who at a very young age, without knowing what was good for them or what was the right thing for them, went into relationships which ended up breaking them, and they've still not been able to recover from those things. And one of the major reasons why is because even though they themselves went through those situations, because of how long they probably stayed in those situations, or how continued those situations were for them, or how repetitive those situations were for them, they've still not identified that those are the causes of their problems. Those are the sources of their wounded femininity, and as a result have never been able to resolve these issues within themselves. So for me, the first step, or the first thing I would say about healing wounded feminine energy, is identifying the source of the problem. Nobody's gonna tell you how to identify the source of your problem, because, except you speak to a therapist or you go through some form of therapy, but you're the owner of your experiences. So most likely you can identify where and when your femininity was broken, and that is the first step to actually finding healing, to actually walking back to being the woman that you were created to be. For me, the second thing, or the second step I would say to healing wounded feminine energy, would be to learn how to protect yourself without compromising your femininity. Now, just before I go deeply into this point, if there is a physical danger involved, or there are situations that require you to actually physically protect yourself, there is no point trying to express femininity in such situations. Pull out every single masculine card that you can find in your body if you physically need to protect yourself. Now, learning to protect yourself without compromising your femininity, instead of hardening, becoming so tough and shielded and so uptight, so difficult, without basically turning yourself into a man, learn to create boundaries that still allow you to be soft. Enforce your boundaries. Take your set of values that make you as a person or as a woman, and enforce boundaries regarding those values. Make personal boundaries that, when people cross, you're very quick to tell them, oh hey, you're crossing a boundary here, you're doing something I don't like, so that they don't begin to abuse you again, or scar you again, or open up wounds that you've done so much work to heal. Because you don't have boundaries, people can now just come in and tear down years of work that you've been doing on yourself. So I would say create strong boundaries that protect you from going back into being a wounded woman, and live in those boundaries. Make anybody that's coming into your life know that, if they value you enough, if they really love you, if they want to keep you, then they have to respect those boundaries. They have to know that you're a person with values, you're a person with feelings, with things that you like and don't like, and there is a limit to which you can tolerate or not tolerate some of these things. Another way to protect yourself without compromising your femininity, right, is to learn the art of pulling away instead of constantly fighting. If you find yourself in situations with people who constantly want to put you on the edge, who constantly want to, bring out demons that you fought so hard to put in your past, right? Learn the art of pulling away instead of constantly engaging in battles with these people. As a woman, God has specially put in us this power of intuition. Our intuition is so strong if only we learned how to tap into it. And it will help you to be able to spot these kind of people or situations from miles away, so that the situation doesn't even get to where you even have to tussle with these people. But if it does get to that point where you're constantly in a position where you have to fight to express yourself, fight to be heard, to fight so that the other person can realize that, oh, they are pushing boundaries that they shouldn't, or they're overstepping their bounds, learn the art of pulling away instead of engaging in these battles. Drop over agreeableness and pick-meism and actually learn to stand for something. Third way I think that wounded feminine energy can be healed is to find a community of women who understand what it is to be a healthy feminine woman, right? And tap into this resource. There is nothing as strong as a woman who has the right community. When you're, always trying to do everything by yourself, always trying to figure out things by yourself, most times it takes you so much longer and it gives you unnecessary stress and trauma that you could have actually avoided if you had the right community. Find the right community of women who understand what it is to be coming from such a place. Talk to people who you feel safe with about these issues. Thrive from there. Actually take your lessons from there. Learn what these other women have done to build themselves up to the point that they are now, and learn from that. It's one of the surest ways and quickest ways to find healing in wounded feminine energy. The fourth way I think that wounded feminine energy can be healed is to learn to accept love, kindness, and help very easily. So many women have forgotten that in so many ways, women are the receivers. Femininity is about being, while masculinity is about doing. Now, I'm in no way encouraging, a woman to be lazy or to not have things going for herself or not be able to do things for herself. However, if you have people around you, both men and women, who are willing to help you, who are willing to take things off your plate, who are willing to make life a lot easier for you, it will be beneficial to healing your feminine energy if you learn to accept help, love, and kindness more easily. Don't be that woman who, when you get a compliment, you don't even know how to receive this love from somebody else, you immediately want to deflect. It's from the tiny things like that that you can build up learning to receive. I know that there's so many people who did not have this love, this nurturing when they were growing up. They didn't have enough of it when they needed it the most. There's so many girls who had to learn how to fight and protect themselves, and now when they are in of the stage where it's time to have relationships, they don't know how to receive from men. It's in no way anybody's fault, because at the time your community or the world failed you when it should have protected you, when it should have provided for you, right? There's so many women who don't even know what it feels like to be provided for. However, if you do come across a situation where people are willing to show you this, don't be so caught up in these wounds that were created in your past that you don't even know how to receive these things. It's important that you just learn from the tiniest little things how to receive kindness, love, and all of these things with ease. Final thing I have to say about healing your wounded feminine energy is that you do need to find a higher purpose. You need to find what your purpose is and start working towards it. It's one of the surest ways to bring focus back to yourself and actually heal your wounded feminine energy. So many times when you find broken women, it comes from romantic relationships. And a lot of the time, the reason why a woman was so broken by that relationship, or the reason why that relationship was able to tear her down so much to the point that her feminine energy was wounded, is because she put too much focus and emphasis either on the other person or on the relationship. She made being with that person her ultimate purpose in life. She had nothing for herself. Nothing in her life was about her anymore. She completely abandoned herself just because she was trying to be with someone, just because she was trying to be for someone. She was never living for herself. So one way to retrace steps back to healed feminine energy, right, is finding a higher purpose for yourself and beginning to put in effort into it. What is it that you actually want to do that does not involve another person? What is it that actually brings you joy and fulfillment? Start to search within your soul for these things and actually start pouring more and more of your energy into pursuing those things, into making those things a reality. That way, when you come across another relationship, for example, when you come across another person, you don't make the same mistake again of being obsessed with them or with the relationship or with whatever it is that you're gaining from it, that you abandon yourself and go broken again. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you found it informative and helpful. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section and I will talk to you guys in my next video.